using template buttons inside database templates. It's really powerful. You should do it more. Let's dig in. We'll start with the book review page we had yesterday. We'll create a new page. We'll copy the database to that. Then let's go into our book review template and start expanding on that. So we'll remove what we created yesterday and create a little bit of a new structure, a more fully fledged one. So I'd like a few sections. Why this book? Places where I can pick it up if I haven't bought it yet. The main takeaways, what did I learn? Highlights and quotes. And the new thing we want to do here is that we want to replace all this content with a few template buttons, meaning that the page template, this one, will be very clean until we start adding things. And depending on the book we want to add and the sections we want, we can adapt it as needed. We take all the sections we have and we move them into one template button each. We name the template buttons accordingly, and then we can easily create the content. And I mean, it might be a little bit silly with just these headings and bullet lists. You would think that it's just as easy to create them on the fly. I would argue that the structure is very nice to have, but let me show you an example that is a little bit more complicated. So you can actually add an entire database inside the template button. For the highlights and quotes, it might be a good idea to actually use a database and a gallery. So let's create that instead of a plain old list. So we create the database, we change the view to gallery, we edit some settings, we adjust the properties, then we have our database. You could of course expand on this, but we'll keep it simple for now. We move the entire database into the template button. And since we actually move the database and not just a view, this means that every book review we create where we click this button, we'll get a new database. It won't point to the same one. That could be a good thing too, but for this example, we create a new database every time the button is clicked. To finish off, let's style this a little bit. So we create a callout for each template button and we move the template button inside the callout. That means that we can get a nice little background, a nice little icon, and it looks quite pretty. The secondary result of this is something you will see when we start using the template. Let's go back to our books to read page and let's add Sapiens. You know the book by Yuval Noah Harari. I probably mispronounced that, I'm sorry about that. Either way, the book Sapiens. As we go through here, we click our template buttons, and as you can see, the sections created by the template buttons actually end up inside the callouts, which is really nice. So you get this visual structure also when you add the content. To me, template buttons is an excellent thing to start adding to your database templates. It makes the notes very clean until you start filling them with content. You can have quite large sections that are only instantiated or created when you need them, so they don't clutter your workspace before you need them. Today we showed one of the sections containing an entire database. So that's one thing you can do. You can basically add any type of content inside the template button and hide it until you need it. This means that you can have a very large and complex page template. The template buttons makes it really easy to work with. That is all for today. Thank you very much for joining. Don't hesitate to reach out in the comments section if you have any ideas for content you'd like to see in this channel or any general feedback for me. It's always very appreciated. Have a nice day.